Welcome back to The Healthy Writer. In today's video, we'll go over Bronnie Ware's famous blog list, The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. If you're unaware of Bronnie Ware, she was an Australian nurse who worked in palliative care for years, caring for patients in the last 12 weeks of their lives. She funneled her observations of what she learned at the bedsides of the dying into a blog she called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. There's no clarity like deathbed divulgences. For that reason, I thought would be a great list to highlight. It's a great reminder to all of us that life is so precious, and if you're not living the life you want, you can still shift to whatever that life looks like for you. The first regret that Bronnie lists in her blog is, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. The most common regret of all was the expression of sorrow for the life unlived. It's as the transcendentalist Henry David Thoreau wrote in his book Walden, I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life and see if I could not learn what it had to teach, and not, when I came to die, discover that I had not lived. I wanted to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life. Ware writes, most people had not honored even a half of their dreams and had to die knowing that was due to choices they had made or not made. From the moment that you lose your health, it is too late. Health brings a freedom very few realize until they no longer have it. If you've had this regret before and you turned it around, let us know how you did that in the comments. I always think it's a great aspect of this channel that people interact with each other and share their own wisdom. The number 2 regret that Ware heard from the dying was, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. For Ware, this came from every male patient she nursed. They expressed missing out on their children's youth and their partner's companionship. With women more present in the workforce than ever nowadays, this regret is likely to become a regret shared more equally across genders. While Australia, where Bronnie Ware is originally from, and where she heard these regrets, has an average of 27 paid vacation days for workers, the United States, where I'm from, of 197 countries, the United States is the second worst country for paid vacation days, further supporting that trend of having less time for loved ones for U.S. citizens. The U.S. is also the only developed country with no statutory paid leave, so if you are in the US or another country where there's this high emphasis on work and not life balance, do what you can to find that balance. You don't want to live a whole life and realize you spent it on the things that didn't fulfill you or were as meaningful as spending time with the people you treasured. Number 3, I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings. Bronnie Ware shares that many people suppressed their feelings to keep the peace with others, resulting in bitterness and resentment that led to illnesses. Dr. Gabor Mate's book, When the Body Says No, The Cost of Hidden Stress, seems to support Ware's deathbed findings. Mate shares how emotion and psychological stress heavily impact the onset of chronic illnesses, including breast cancer, prostate cancers, multiple sclerosis, and even Alzheimer's disease. Lying and or withholding from yourself and others has physical consequences, but change can be found in honesty. One of the books I return to again and again is The Way of Integrity by Martha Beck. She's a prime example of how being honest with yourself and with those in your life can dramatically transform and free you, not without growing pains along the way, of course. Number 4, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. Ware says that often people wouldn't understand the full benefits of old friends until their dying weeks, when it wasn't always possible to track down those old friends. Many had found themselves too busy to maintain friendships and were left with regrets on their deathbeds about not giving the friendships the time and effort they deserved. Ware writes, it all comes down to love and relationships in the end. That is all that remains in the final weeks, love and relationships. One study suggests that the amount of friendships people have decline after the age of 25. Julie Beck, who wrote the article How Friendships Change in Adulthood in The Atlantic, wrote, in adulthood, as people grow up and go away, Friendships are the relationships most likely to take a hit. She writes, in the hierarchy of relationships, friendships are at the bottom. Romantic partners, parents, children, all these come first before friends. Like romantic partners, friendships are the relationships we choose. But unlike romantic partners who tend to live in close proximity, if not in the same house, friendships, especially ones where distance is a factor, take extra steps to maintain that closeness. Without concerted effort, time, and energy to friendships, the chasm of deathbed regret is more likely. As someone who's in her 30s, I definitely understand the importance of friendship, and that's why one of the things I try to do as much as possible is reach out to people, and that's enabled me to keep friendships after 20 years and 15 years and 10 years, etc. You never know how much someone is just waiting around hoping someone else will say, hey, I care about you, I love you, how are you in the world? So if anyone's struggling with this particular regret, I recommend just sending a text, reaching out, seeing how your people are. The fifth and final regret of the dying that Bronnie heard over and over was, I wish that I had let myself be happier. Ware writes, many people did not realize until the end that happiness is a choice. They had stayed stuck in old patterns and habits. Fear of change had them pretending to others and to themselves that they were content, when deep within they longed to laugh properly and have silliness in their life again. She urges, life is a choice. It is your life. Choose consciously, choose wisely, choose honestly, choose happiness. While we can't control all the conditions in which we live, we can determine what is within the locus of our control and move out from there to live happy, fulfilled, and relationship-oriented lives. Did any of these regrets resonate with you? Do you feel like you're already experiencing them yourself? Let us know in the comments below. And if you've been able to turn these regrets around for you, then leave how you did that in the comments as well. Here's to not regretting our lives. Here's to doing our best. Thanks, y'all. And as always, please like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Take care, y'all. Bye.